Hey, what's up everybody, How To Tech, and we're going to do a quick look at this iPhone SE. We're going to go ahead and disassemble it, first starting with the pentalobe screws on the bottom of the phone. And my guess is this would be exactly like an iPhone 5S. It looks similar, in fact they're identical on the outside. So what I want to see is what is similar on the inside of these phones. I mean, basically this phone is just an iPhone 6S shoved into an iPhone 5S frame. And so now it's a special edition phone, so for those 4-inch phone lovers. But what I'm more interested in is, does the iPhone SE screen internals fit within an iPhone 5S? So that's what we're going to take a look at here real quick. So we're just popping this phone apart just like we did on the iPhone 5S. We pull a suction cup on it and pulled the display up. We're being very careful because I'm guessing that the touch sensor is ribbon cabled down towards the charge port board at the bottom of the phone. So we're just going to wiggle it, and my suspicions are correct. It's identical to an iPhone 5S. So let's go ahead and pop this up and out of the phone here. Now this should unclip the connection, which it does. Open it up, the battery connector looks identical to the prior phone. You can see that has the same bridge, the exact same screw. So remember, when you're taking apart your iPhone, make sure you know exactly where each screw goes. That's very important on your phone. You can mess up an iPhone without it being exactly the same. They could be, a 1/16th of a millimeter difference in length, and that could damage a board. And just make sure you understand where all of those screws came out from. So it's going to pop up our battery bridge. Everything's looking pretty good at this point. I mean, it looks identical on the interior. Let's take off the screen. Has the exact same EMI shield cover here also. We'll pull this up. My screw fell in there. It looks like even the screws are the same length. I actually have an iPhone 5S that I'm going to disassemble and put the screen, or take a look at the components on the inside, and we'll compare the two here in just a few seconds and see what it looks like. But so far this phone is identical on the interior. It looks like the screen itself is also the same. Pull this connection off. Yeah, look, the ribbon cables are actually in the exact same place. I'll be interested to see if they're the exact same length and size also, to see if they are interchangeable. Perfect. Pull this up, and I can take this off the phone and set it aside. Let me grab my other body of the iPhone 5S. So you can see the iPhone 5S is on the left side, the iPhone 5SE is on the right side. And looking at it, it looks identical. The screw placement down here at the charge port is exactly the same. You can see that the battery connections line up. Actually, it looks like the battery connections are smaller. Look, there's a 3-pin on this one and a 2-pin on this one, so these batteries are not interchangeable. Also, looks like they're different voltages. Looking at it closer, you can see that this one is a 3.82 volt, 6.21, and this is a 3.8 volt, 5.29. So it looks like the iPhone SE has a higher capacity battery as well. So that's a difference. Looking at the screen itself, I mean, everything looks identical here. The one thing that you would not be able to change on this would be the fingerprint sensor. Keep that in mind. Also, the connectors, identical. The exact same pin setup. You can see the sides of the phone line up for snapping into the frame itself. On the opposite side also. So, let's take the leap. Let's go ahead and put this screen onto the iPhone 5SE. iPhone SE. Might as well just be called iPhone 5 SE, but apparently we want to get away from the iPhone 5 branding. Let's go ahead and snap this thing in place. We're going to fire this up and take a look. Now, the one thing I'm not going to connect here is the fingerprint sensor, because we all know about that error that pops up if you don't attach the correct fingerprint sensor to the phone itself. I'm not going to take any chances. I don't want to trip anything up, so I'm not going to even snap it down. But what we'll do is see if the connections line up. We know it'll snap into the frame itself. Put our battery connection back down. Now this iPhone 5S has been around the block, so it's not in the greatest condition, but oh, look at that. Cha-ching. That is a good sign already. Power's right up. It looks like there's some lines in it. It looks like the connector's not fully seated, or it might be a little bit dirty. But, wow. Yeah, it looks like it's the exact same display. Looks like the connectors are exactly the same, nothing different there as well. So that should make the replacement pretty economical. So something intriguing about this phone itself. Now I'll take this phone further apart and we'll do, basically everything and compare all the parts together and take a look. But my guessing there's other things that aren't similar, but there's things that are similar. My guess is the cameras aren't interchangeable as well. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. Catch you in the next one. Peace.